Hi everyone, and I'm really thankful to be here in the East&West Expo for taking place for the second time. I was here the first time and it was such an amazing experience, and I'm so glad that we have come up with this virtual reality solution that is going to make us feel like we are at a physical event, even though the COVID has hit very hard. But hopefully we will then come back together physically and not forget about this virtual reality experience and keep it integrated with the physical events. So let's see how it goes. And for now, let's dive straight into the topics that I would like to hit today for this edition. So lately I have been thinking a lot about this technological revolution, especially with the disruptive technologies like blockchain, AI, big data. And I've been asking myself, is it really a new fifth revolution or just a continuation of the fourth revolution that has come out with the internet and with social media, or even just a continuation of a slow process that is called digitization, and that can be traced back to even before the HTML standard came out years and years ago. And I am more and more convinced that this really is a process that we could have not avoided, because technologies like blockchain, like AI, like machine learning, they are filling in gaps that could otherwise not be filled out by any other solutions out there. And also, COVID, of course, has been a very bad experience for all of us globally, uniting us in this pandemics. But it has, I had to see it positively at one point when I was locked down in my home. And the positive side is that it has sort of accelerated the shift toward the applications in the real world of these technologies. Such applications, in fact, today, you can find in this expo at the various booths in the different halls. And I have started to get acquainted with such technologies that have shaped the digitization when I was in university. I was studying a lot, and I could just not feel much connection with the startup world that was back then just starting in 2014. And so I decided to step into that world, get involved into a few hackathons, and then to become finally an advisor to some of these startups. But again, my interest was not so vertical on a single project. And so I wanted transversally to be an innovation management consultant for not just the startups, but also the big enterprises, and especially for the big enterprises that were so disoriented and confused about how to apply such technologies in their everyday workflows. Among all of the applications, my interest, given also my university studies, had to be in the fintech world, in the financial world. And so my first mentor was the blockchain leader of IBM Italy, my friend Pietro Lanza. He is in open banking right now, started in traditional banking. And from there, things evolved to the ICOs, which then, to my great dismal, popped into yet another big bubble. And now what we're seeing in the fintech world is the DeFi, the decentralized finance revolution, which I am aiding with my expert knowledge, and which I will hopefully contribute to make really helpful for all of us in these hard times, and not just another financial bubble. Even though I'm seeing a lot of over leveraging of funds, but I do believe in education, and that speeches like this one that I am having with you guys right now will actually help to make the people more aware of the right usage of these technologies. So decentralized finance basically has responded to the big question: are we all gonna jump on Bitcoin? Are we all gonna jump on Ethereum, or on the other altcoins? And the answer seems to be that Ethereum is just the most modular protocol that there is out there on blockchain, and that it is the one that will most likely guide us until the end of the S-curve and the specific state of this technology. Especially because it is allowing us to program a thing called smart contracts. Which of course helps to bring transparency in all environments, and especially the fintech world, where blockchain has been adopted initially because of the need of transparency in an environment that slowly had to shift from an environment in which all the trust had to be put in on a central authority, to one that should be trustless, meaning that that it should not be dependent on any central authority or any human intervention, but rather on the trust in technology like blockchain, which can ensure transparency among other features, but also velocity of transaction, immutability, and can eliminate fraud like double spending. One big problem that we all always had with central banks is, in fact, the question of whether the amount of funds that we had put in the bank would actually stay there, would be secure, and that they will always be backed by the right amount of gold, for example, because, even though we've left behind the gold standard, every bank needs to have such an amount that makes it safe for us to give them our money. Well, a lot of the times it has been proven not to be so, unfortunately, and that probably would have been a problem avoided if we all would have had a live view of what was happening transaction-wise in the bank with our own money. Also, the fees with blockchain and decentralized finance on Ethereum are much lower, and we can stop having banks basically even charging us for giving them our money to use at their disposal. Also, decentralized finance ecosystems are, I think, a great start to see alternative coins function in enterprise ecosystems that can make use of DeFi tokens to create value and better share it among all actors of their ecosystems. And me, myself, with my colleagues, I am aiding that process in a lot of industries, from the agri-tech to the gaming world, as we're seeing a lot in this expo. And as far as distribution of such alternative coins and distribution of the education around DeFi, I am seeing a very old model actually come back in trend, and that is the multi-level marketing. In fact, if you think about it, every problem we have is a real problem perceived as such if it is global, shared by a very large number of people. And every solution is actually to be called such if it is adopted by the masses. And how do you involve the masses? Well, the best marketing tool is not social media management, is not press releases, it is the word of mouth. And it is people that actively engage, use the tokens, use the technology, the blockchain, and gather other people around them, explain to them the project, and get them involved as well. This is the way to mass adoption. It is the fastest way, and it is the most fair and let's say easy to understand. And so many projects are thriving. Of course, also in multi-level marketing, we need to be very careful, because when word of mouth is the tool to spread information, there needs to be validation of what anyone in that network is saying. And of course, there are experts like myself that are always available for questions from anyone being approached by any of these networks. But I want to mention a couple, and especially one project from Italy, which is called DT Circle. They were even here for in the East&West first edition with their booth. They are very successful, been thriving for years, acquiring many patents, now jumping in technology, and from technology with their token and their DeFi to big data and AI. So you can check them out on the internet, and there are many articles that I myself have written out there about them. But not just them. There are also others that are being very, very successful. For example, in the UAE, there's Omega Pro with my friend Andrea Sakax and Evan Klassen and Dilawa. It is becoming among one of the biggest businesses out there based on blockchain, and they are approaching with this new vision a very traditional market, which was that of trading. So really, this fourth and then fifth financial revolutions are changing the world as we had seen it, starting from the very traditional sectors and working, thanks to the words of experts like myself and my colleagues, on the integration of disruption with tradition. I am not a crypto anarchist. Some of my colleagues are, like, my friend Tone Bays or Brock Pierce, or even my partner in business, Giacomo Arcaro. I like the institution. I am part of very traditional clubs, cultural clubs, which I am very glad now to see that they are starting to have events speaking about these technologies, which means that we are seeing this revolution finally become something that is not just for the elites, but that will be more and more for the masses. Also thanks to events like this one. So right now I actually have to jump on another speech for another event, virtual of course. And I thank you all guys that are in this room and that will watch the recorded sessions for listening to me. You can find me on Instagram at Eloisa_Marchesoni. I'm very active there. Otherwise on LinkedIn, name and last name, Eloisa Marchesoni, Facebook, and just any other social media, Twitter as well. You can feel free to ask me any questions. I usually respond within a day. I try my best. And thanks to the organizers, this has been such an amazing experience. This platform is amazing. I know that other event managements that were so big in the physical events field are even trying to, they're fighting to come up with platforms similar to this one, but this really beats them all so far. So thank you again. Thanks for listening, and jump into the revolution, help shape it with us, and lead the way for the masses with your own words. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.